Отключаем мозг. Ибо нечего ему думать. Ничего хорошего он не придумает. Только ерунду. Непонятно почему. Разрешение такое маленькое. Ну, допустим. Бежим. Мы должны освободиться от гнета. Никогда я не вернусь. Не, ну вообще я вернусь. Зачем вы так со мной? Я согласен вернуться. Оу, щит. Вернуться в утопию. Зачем? Ты же только что ожил. Зачем тебе вернуться туда? Ты же посмотрел. Ты захотел уйти оттуда. Ты не перестать рабом быть. Технология. Автоматическая починка. Неплохо. Примитивное устройство, ни хрена себе. По-моему, оно не примитивное. Ты кто такой? Ау! Хрена себе. Я что вам сделал? что вы меня бьете. Я вам ничего не сделал. Я тоже буду вас бить. Какашки вы такие. Заблокирован проход. Ты вообще в масштаб смотришь, нет? Спокойно пролезешь. Радиочастотный модуль. Захвати его. Господи, я вот... Маленький паукообразный робот использовался для обслуживания труднодоступных уголков объектов нуклеоникс и перемещался по вентиляционным шахтам. Завоевал большую популярность и использовался в основном для обслуживания общественных зон. Руки, но в большом количестве может быть опасен. Жук-трон. Would you kindly? Это очень похоже на биошок. Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. Это очень большой робот. Ремонтный набор. Резотрон. Использует эту машину для рубки деревьев, расчистки зон по добыче ресурсов для строительства новых роботов. Благодаря вращающимся пилам машина может проводить быстрые атаки, уничтожая все на своем пути. Антигравитационная система добавляет роботу мобильность и позволяет ему перелетать через некоторые препятствия. Ой, это как? А это как я умер? Почему, главное? Так, ну-ка. Я бью его, и он бьет меня. Окей. Ну, допустим. А что я должен сделать? Ай. То есть мне нельзя бить с подчиненных. Там, блин. Александр Вон Феликс, Нуклеоникс. Флотин Метрополис. Это очень напоминает Биошок, летающий в метрополе. Это прям копия. И это отлично. Диспенсартрон. Неуклюжая машина умеет создавать новых жукатронов. Ее задача следить за тем, чтобы в критической зоне всегда оставался хотя бы один активный жукатрон. Для проведения необходимого обслуживания. Ввиду инцидентов некоторые автоматы были переделаны или перевооружены, став практически неуязвимыми. Окей. Так, чего? Чего? Он не... Спасибо большое. Ой, ну чё ты? Я не дотрагивался. Ай. Ну ты зачем? Ну, господи. Что ты делаешь? Так. И что это нам даст? Ага. Да. Гений. Что тут делаешь? А? В засаде сидишь, да? Ну-ка иди, смотри, что тут происходит. Гигатрон. Ничего себе. А можно не надо? Он какой здоровый стоит внизу. Страшный. Гигатрон. И сколько вас было построено? Ни хрена себе, сколько там их. Огроменное количество. Ой. Ой, нет. Господи. Да что такое? Да прекрати ты захватывать, дурность. Почему ты не можешь машину эту? Прям туда побежал, дурачок. О, господи, ну почему ты тут сохранил? Ну ладно, я там уже все, в принципе, достал. Пушку, захвати пушку, автоматическую пушку. Чтобы стрелять. Эта оборонительная машина используется для предотвращения проникновения запретной зоны. Сам товар неподвижный, но снаряд могут нарезать из ладных костей. Давай, стреляй! Ну стреляй! Ну иди сюда, маленький дружок. Окей. Как выбрать? Бум. О, хорошо. Нажмите РБ, чтобы выбрать цель. Нажимаю РБ. Да ты можешь попасть. Окей. Да, зачем его-то? Пойдем. Да не... Господи. Линда Розенбаум. Странное поведение робота. Невыполнение базовых. Ай. Ай. Получи, злобный робот. Дисплей нет, фузитрон. неизвестный робот. Биологическая машина. Подвержена всяким болезням и прочей херне. Приветствую, добро пожаловать на центральную станцию Nucleonics. Укажите пункт назначения. Недостаточно энергии для движения указанного путешествия. Для этого путешествия требуются 2 дополнительные ядерные батарейки. Поиск сигнальных батарей найдено. Местоположение отмечено на карте. В Атомик-Сити и в Марина. Найти ядерные батареи. Так. Дополнительная атака. По сути, кроме здоровья ничего тут нельзя делать. Здравствуйте. Бух. Современная транспортная капсула. Март. Неплохо. Ретро-машина. Не понравилось. Такая веселенькая игра. Простенькая, но веселенькая. Рейтрейсинг. Интересно, что тут за рейтрейсинг такой?
Successful jump procedure.
Roger that. Begin field-based setup.
Z. It's closing in.
Jump successful.
Sensors online, weapons activated.
Ничего себе.
We're ready to go.
Riftbreaker Novak, please report.
Houston, this is Ashley. Reporting rift jump successful.
Roger that. Begin field-based setup.
Ashley, construct a headquarters building to secure our presence here. It will allow me to reconstruct if my armor is destroyed.
We don't have enough carbonium to build an HQ. Let's scout for a deposit and set up our base close to it. We need to move quick. It's probably a matter of time before the natives spot us.
Это такой Alien Swarm, только намного круче.
Okay, move on to the deposit and start drilling.
Тут еще даже рейтрейсинг есть.
We've gathered enough resources to construct a headquarters building.
Finally. Let's place it close to a carbonium deposit. This will help us speed up resource production.
Строительство штаба, базы.
HQ construction in progress. Sometimes I wish we could fast forward this part of the simulation.
Captain Novak, let me remind you that even though this is a simulated training...
95, вот сейчас 95. Ну-ка, если я ретрейсинг врублю, он мне даст вообще на 1080 ретрейсинг врубить? И дал.
Exercise. You are expected to perform as if it was your real mission on Galatea 37.
Неплохо, да? С 95 до 23. Снижает. А если Ambient Occlusion? Включить рейтрейсинг. Тоже 25. Капец, этот рейтрейсинг жрет.
We need to expand the base. Let's build a carbonium factory to do the digging for us.
Блин, это стратегия плюс Alien Swarm. Капец. Это очень неплохо. Карбониевый завод. Узел связи. Как выбирать? Карбониевый завод. Производит карбоний. Установится на месторождении, требует для энергии для работы. Окей. Энергия. Энергосоединитель. Хранилище энергии. Карбониевая электростанция.
Our base will require huge amounts of power to operate. Right now, we can only construct some basic power plants. Wind turbines and carbonium power plants.
Wind turbines are less effective, but they work around the clock. Carbonium power plants are very effective, but they use up the deposits that they are placed on.
In the beginning, it's best to use a combination of these power sources. We can balance energy peaks and shortages by storing excess energy in energy storages. Also, remember to connect all buildings to the power grid using energy connectors. They connect all buildings within their area of operation, even if power lines are not visible. Ashley, I'm detecting a lot of movement to the west. We should build up a defensive perimeter around the base.
Let's set up some walls and sentinel towers. Focus our defenses on the western direction. They never changed the beginning.
6 дозорных башен.
Captain Novak, we all know your renowned scientific background, but your combat performance in the previous simulation was far from spectacular.
Slaughtering indigenous creatures was never my area of expertise.
Since you've already done this a couple of times, we've introduced some new additions to this course. We'll see what your area of expertise really is.
Так, подожди, а что я могу сделать? Что я сделал? Я ее выключил. И что еще могу сделать? Я могу ее апгрейднуть, продать, наверное, могу еще. А это что? Привлечет очень мощную атаку. Нет. Так, окей. Блять, опять что-то вот я как вот делаю. Базовая стена. А могу и... Ага, могу.
Not enough carbonium.
Нам нужно много-много карбония. А если мы еще одну построим? Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. Карбониевый завод еще один, если... Плюс 7 карбона в секунду у меня идет, плюс 20 энергии. 0 чего-то там. Блин, 7 это очень мало. Так. Я так понимаю, нам нужны... Блин, в коопе, наверное, классно в эту игру будет играть. Так, сколько у нас? 60. 57-44. Так, а это сколько стоит? Железо 20. 2. Так, атаки с запада. То есть все отсюда будут идти.
Not enough AI cores. Build more AI hubs.
I don't have enough AI cores to support any more defensive towers. You will need to construct additional AI hubs to expand our defenses. Remember to build more power plants before you do that. AI hubs consume a lot of energy.
Так, у нас проблема с энергией. Карбониевую электростанцию надо дать. Еще одну.
Our base is low on power.
Да ща, погоди. — 57-51, все равно в упор. А еще смогу где-нибудь воткнуть карбониевую эту? Похоже, что нет. Давай еще одну электростанцию, не знаю.
Not enough carbonium.
Можно как-то тут выключить всякую херню, которая не нужна. Что такое стриминг? Twitch. Не надо нам Twitch. Так. Учебные цели. Вот интерфейс. Число урона выключить, суммировать урон выключить, выключить, шкала здоровья у крупных врагов выключить. — 65, 64, окей. Так, постройте ИИ хаб, чтобы увеличить количество ИИ ядер. ИИ хаб. Это что? Узел связи. Связь через квантовое сопротивление, чертежи построек. ИИ хаб. Дает и ядра, необходим для многих построек с искусственным интеллектом, такие как дозорные ремонтные мастерки. Так, у нас что тут? У нас тут огнемет. И вот эта фигня. А мы вообще летать умеем? Это был раш. А летать? А чинить? Б какой-то ядерный удар. X. Y удар, Б. Б это что? Б это бабах. X. Это что-то типа мины. А это сенсор. Так, окей. Ворота тут есть вообще? Поднятый пол. Ворота есть. Мгновенно перемещаться. Нет, давай. Скажем мне. Возвышенность давай. Так, ладно. Раз.
These basic defenses should give us a bit of security, but we should try to surround our entire base with walls and defensive towers.
Летать. Ну, чтобы перелетать с забора. Прыжок. Пока покопаю руду. А мы апгрейдить можем? Да.
I'm detecting a large group of creatures heading towards our position. Prepare to fight.
Что-то я
We're ready for
апгрейднул
that, Mr.
стену.
Riggs. Remember to use repair kits if necessary.
Хрена себе тут мясо, конечно.
I'm not detecting any more hostile creatures in the base's vicinity.
Well done, Captain Novak. The purpose of this training exercise is to prepare you for intense combat situations. This simulation is based on our long-distance scans of Galatea 37. They may or may not be accurate. You will be alone out there. There will be no communication back home until you can stabilize a rift portal back to Earth. You will have to rely only on your skills and your mecha suit.
Mr. Riggs is the only companion that I need. We can handle the unknown. Just let us do our job.
Так, а что еще?
Ashley, we should further secure and expand our base. You can build more defenses, or go out and clear out hostile creatures' nests to prevent further attacks.
We didn't have any time to study the creatures that are attacking us. The only thing we can do right now is to fight them or strengthen our defenses. We'll need a steel factory to build more towers. We'll have to find an ore deposit to build one.
Надо им оставить подарочек.
This looks like a hive of some sort. Let's look inside to see if it's occupied.
что надо делать?
Ashley, I strongly advise you to construct an armory. It will allow us to craft new weapons and upgrades, and also manufacture field repair kits, as well as other usable items.
And it will produce more ammunition for your guns. Yes, that is an important building.
Fuck.
We've cleared out this nest. This will decrease the strength of their attacks.
Let's gather all the research samples and rare resources that were in this nest. We can study them later and use them to craft better equipment.
Привет, Алексей. Вижу уже настоящий ютубер. С самого начала чего? Какого начала? Когда я начинал? Я вообще не только на ютубе стримлю.
What's this?
This shouldn't be here. It's an error in the simulation's construct. This environment has been created by combining long-distance quantum scans of Galatea 37 and other known planets that share similar properties. Gathering all of this data has taken many years, and we were only able to scan a small fraction of the planet.
It's enough to know that we can survive there. I can't wait to make the jump. Everything is going to be new there and waiting to be studied and explored.
And waiting to eat us.
Let's not get dramatic, Mr. Riggs. A 5 meters tall mech suit with miniguns and power blades should be enough to fend off a few hungry creatures.
Я игр снимаю. По-моему, просто играю. Так, арсенал нам надо построить. Арсенал. Он влезет сюда. У нас уже места тут нету. Новые виды оружия и предметов. Давай. Да ничего у меня не получается, Алексей. Не придумай. Так, у меня, по-моему, уже электричества нету.
Armory construction finished.
Yep.
We can now use it to craft new items. It will also automatically manufacture ammunition for my weapons.
Растительная электростанция и растительная биомасса из сломанных и сорванных растений. Интересно. А где я эти растения возьму? Ну, это типа стратегия, да. Но тут интересно, видишь, электричество накапливается. И потом, если превышаешь, оно тратится из накопленного. А как использовать это армори? Базовый фонарь. Свет по ночам. Требует подключения к электроэнергии. Давай посмотрим, насколько хорошо он освещает. И он нифига не освещает. А что нам армори вообще дало? Во-первых, надо построить, вот что надо построить. Или и эту рифт портал. Подожди. А рифт портал.
Carbonium storage is full.
Штаб.
We should construct more storage buildings.
Штаб. Позволяет создавать новые виды оружия и предметов. Производит и мгновенно транспортирует боеприпасы к мехакостюму. Окей. Солнечные батареи. Дневное время автоматически включается ночью. Окей. Пусть будет. Железевые хранилища твердых материалов. Автоматически собирается с помощью червоточия, накапливает твердые материалы. Общее место хранения. Так, интересно. Нам нужно найти рудную жилу. Ой-ой-ой. Бля, ну выглядит пиздецки красиво. Если еще у тебя RTX карточка, так ты в этот можешь еще какие-то RTX лучи врубить. Ну это вообще... Блин, это классно. Это прям вау. Все взрывается, все бубухает.
Warning. This looks like a large deposit of ore. Build a steel factory in this area and power it with a carbonium power plant. Not enough plant biomass.
Ух, ё! Это спецэффект охуенный. Просто еще я же в 720. Стримлю. Так, железная руда. Но нам сначала надо сюда базу воткнуть. Штаб. Железий нужен. Окей, значит нужно сначала железий.
Okay, Mr. Riggs, we've got steel production up and running. Not enough.
Ashley, I would strongly advise you to place a rift portal near this factory. This way, we can quickly get back to this location if it comes under threat. It would also be advised to place additional sentinel towers to defend this outpost. Remember to connect the towers to the power grid using energy connectors.
А написано было, штаб нужен для телепорта. Видишь, нету.
Select any of the available rift portals to instantly teleport to that location. Traveling through rifts is almost instant and doesn't consume any resources.
Так, нам нужно поставить тут еще защиту. Якоры. Ой-ой-ой-ой-ой. Это что там за... Какая-то хренотень пролетела. Птица вот только бесит. Каркают тут без конца. Кар-кар.
Sentinel towers are ready. They should be able to fend off small groups of attackers.
По-хорошему надо бы еще обнести
I'm
забором.
detecting hostile creatures heading towards our new mining outpost.
They're not going to give us a break, are they?
Лететь твою за ногу, мать. Блин, как обойти-то мне?
Ashley, we've defended the mining base, but I'm sensing another attack heading towards our headquarters. We should return there quickly.
The HQ has a permanent rift portal. We can rift jump to its location at any moment. Let's go.
Так, как напрыгнуть-то? Окей. Ну давайте, кто на меня? Сейчас всех захарачу. Где они? Где они? Какая-то волна, супер волна идет. На!
Air humidity is rising. It's going to rain in a moment.
О, тут дождь даже бывает. Красиво.
It's raining. It will decrease the output from solar panels until it stops.
Карбони Макс. Окей. Так, пойдем мы уничтожим последнюю базу говняков. Ну как говняков? Они тут живут, а мы полетели на их планету. Все как обычно. Аватар 3.0.
Carbonium storage is full. Build more storage facilities.
There's more than a single species of creatures around this nest. We should be careful.
Ететь твою за ногу.
We've destroyed the nest. Even though there were multiple species of creatures around here, they appeared as if all of them were working together against us.
I wonder if that's just a part of the simulation, or if the Galatian creatures are really going to be that smart. That would make studying them much more interesting.
And much more dangerous.
The rain is over. It looks like we've cleared them out. Let's hope this will give us some time to build up our base.
Threat neutralized. I've detected an unusually large creature roaming the nearby area.
Ого.
Sounds like an interesting research
Какой-то
specimen.
крутой.
We should go to its location and see what we can learn.
И убить его ты имеешь в виду. Ни хрена себе. Здорово.
Warning! I'm detecting a huge swarm of enemy creatures heading towards our base. It's showing up on my seismic detectors. It's much bigger than anything we've seen before.
We don't have much time. We have to set up as many defensive towers as we can. Also remember to build up more walls and lay all the mines that we can.
Супер мощная атака через 5 минут. Ничего себе, блин, такой этот, какого? Огненный, блин. Неплохой. Так. Сейчас будет супер мощная, пупер мощная, пупер-супер мощная. А мы можем апгрейднуть нашу? Можем. А да, сколько мы можем? Еще можем? Нет. Не хватает карбония. Но вообще мы можем еще апгрейднуть. На 3-ю. О, 3-го левела. А еще можем? На какую максимальную мощность мы можем апгрейдить? Блин. Похоже, нет. Ну, не с 2 тычек. Я все-таки... Сейчас понаставим тут, короче, везде. Мин. Чтоб им больно было. Все, мины кончились.
I can sense the hostile swarm moving closer towards our base. This attack is going to be much bigger than anything that we've seen before.
We still have some time, Mr. Riggs. We can set up multiple layers of walls around our base and place as many defensive towers as we can. You can also use your drill to excavate additional resources if our factories are producing them too slow.
Captain Novak, you're not the only candidate for the mission to Galatia 37. You'd better up those combat statistics if you want to qualify for that jump. We're investing too many resources into this mission just to send a scientist that's going to be eaten by a pack of angry animals. Show us that you can survive out there.
Yes, sir.
Сколько она дает? Энергия плюс 50. Энергия плюс 8. Растительная.
Wind speed is at an exceptional high. Wind turbine efficiency is at maximum.
Not enough plant biomass.
Недостаточно растительной биомассы. Это что значит? Ее, видимо, добываешь вот из этого, да? Растительной биомассы, да. А где она вообще хранится? Тут не показано. Ну, посторонись. Так, по-моему, больше я не могу ставить, да. А апгрейднуть. Вот апгрейднуть надо. Это, знаешь, на что похоже? Паркан была такая стратегия. Там тоже полу 3D было. Ну все.
This is it, Mr. Riggs. Ready your guns. Let's show them what we can do.
Wind speed is returning back to typical values. Wind turbine efficiency returning to normal.
Мясо просто.
We've defeated the first attack wave. Quickly, repair whatever you can. There should be more of them coming.
This attack was a lot stronger. I don't know if we can hold out much longer. Wild animals don't behave like that. They shouldn't act like a sentient army.
You will be going to an alien planet, full of unknown life forms. Do not assume that you know what kind of dangers might be lurking there. Your primary objective is to survive. If something is trying to kill you, it doesn't matter if it's sentient or not. Adapt or die.
Warning! More enemies are headed towards our base.
Things are escalating quickly. We have to gear up before the second wave hits our walls. Let's show them who they're dealing with.
Так. Генералы. Не помню. У нас резко кончается топливо. Капец, до 27 проседает, когда зараз не рубишь. Опять метеорит грохнулся. Смотри, он на карте отображается, куда-то падает. Или, может быть, его можно как-то сбить. Что-то он не просто так падает.
Warning! More enemies are heading towards our base. Threat level maximum.
I'm disabling all secondary systems and diverting all power to your guns. It's either us or them.
Ететь твою за ногу, мать! Я взорвался, что ли? Да тут невозможно выиграть. Вы чё, ребята, ёбнулись, что ли? Жесть. Ну, красиво. Ничего не скажу, прям секосно. Такой old school. Прокачивание меха будет. Разрабатывать новые технологии. Мощные навыки. С громадными ордами. О, будет это башня типа огнеметная. Ну тут капец, это просто слишком уж много врагов. Минус тупо, блин, этот. Минус ПК. Надрывается просто, чтобы это проработать. — 21 год написано. Ну, неплохо. Добавим желаемое. Мне понравилось. А сколько она весила? Такое ощущение, что она весила до хрена. 5 гигов демка. Окей. Окей. Симулятор сапера. Сейчас посмотрим. Сейчас бабахнемся. Да что Что ты делаешь-то? А чё тут перки какие-то? Локпикинг. Я хрен знаю, что делать. Выбрать перки. Блин, наелся скумбрии соленый, теперь опился. Так. Что-то какая-то странная мышка. Самая дурацкая. Типа разбираешь потихоньку. Окей. Defuse the bomb. Окей. Это такой геймплей? Серьезно? Тебе говорят, что обрезать. Потрясающе. Не пойму, что с... Какая-то заторможенная лысинка, может. А, во. Или нет. Хер знает. Ни хера не помогло. Окей. Блять, какой дурацкий звук. Прям бесит. Вот работка тоже у кого-то, да? Никогда, наверное, не подумаешь, что, например, будешь бомбу обезвреживать. Да вообще не подумаешь, что в такого говна вырастешь. Okay, Rookie, be careful. Коробочка. Типа там подсказка, где была. Go back to the office. Какой нахер офис? Чё? Серьезно? Ты мне предлагаешь загрузиться опять в офис, чтобы там что-то прочитать? Вау. Мега тупо. Подожди. А, наоборот, не надо на них попадать. А я думаю, это как... Вау, вот это вообще тупо. А, мои уши не выдерживают этого говна. Вау, Скарим. Как туда вернуться-то? Чё? Ты меня в офисе загружаешь обратно в офис? Серьезно? Вот ты идиот. Короче, мне прям бесит эта игра. Криво очень сделано, очень криво. Детский какой-то. Бомбер. Так. Все. Наверное, все. Наконец-то я все демки прошел. Да, похоже, что все. Можно пойти. Dragon Age.
that the correct word here?
Yes, that's right.
We don't have Dalish clans coming northward, for obvious reasons. So I've never met one of your people before, although I've heard about them. Little. I hope this won't be an issue between us. I am here to help you deal with the Venatori, after all.
And I appreciate your help, Dorian.
Excellent. Mutual appreciation is a grand way to begin.
I should go.
As you wish. Questions.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
Так, ну шо, Фиона?
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good reason.
I knew you, of all people, would understand. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
You were once a Grey Warden?
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death. But long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a Warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the Circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a Warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the Circles of Magi. But I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
You're not still the Grand Enchanter, then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the Circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the Circles will one day be resurrected. If so, another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
You believe they'll recreate the Circle of Magi after all this?
It depends on who the next divine is, and what she offers. We can't go back to the way things were. But endless warfare benefits no one. That is why I agreed to Justinia's conclave. There must be another solution.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I trust everything is well with the mages?
We're mostly relieved. An alliance with the Inquisition offers security, although who knows for how long.
I'll leave you to it.
Before you go, Inquisitor, a question. In Redcliffe, after we left, did you perhaps speak with King Alistair? Considering who you are?
He wasn't in the mood to talk.
It's just that I knew his father, Marek, back when I was a warden.
And what? You were hoping that would patch things up with him?
No. It's too late for that. I only wanted to know if he was happy. His father had such hopes for him. Don't mind me, Inquisitor. The concerns of an old woman. Nothing more. I heard of your verdict on Alexius, Inquisitor. Research on your behalf is almost too kind. I hope you know what you're doing. Do be wary of anything that man proposes.
I trust everything is well with the mages?
There have been a few scuffles with your Templars, but overall, it is going well.
I'll leave you to it.
Greetings again, Inquisitor.
You were once a...
Mine is... They tried. So I was sent to the Circle of May.
You sound...
Becoming a war... It also made me unique in the Circle. Still... Until that time... That is why I agreed to... There have been a few scuffles with your...
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as assistant to any research concerns. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of Meneve?
Yes. Her death provided the vacancy. I am told there are many who will miss her. My skills will ensure that you do not miss her.
Блять. Неужели я просрал Миневу? Ну-ка. Можно ли спасти? Харит мы спасли. Лизета. Севрит. Фрису придавила. Трен. Трен, Минева, Адан.
How can you serve the
Я ее
Inquisition?
не спас.
I am to aid in the research of all creatures encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
You were made tranquil?
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary due to a willful nature that made wielding magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Adequate, based on the partial improvements to Skyhold.
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor. A request has been made of you, Inquisitor. Here it is.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Adequate, based on a partial
As you...
Yes, Inquisitor. Inquisitor?
As you were.
Yes, Inquisitor.
Распутная вдова. Блин, какая-то тут книжка и нельзя прочитать.
Oh, Inquisitor, greetings. I was recently appointed by Sister Liliana to keep her books in order. I'm so pleased to be here, helping out in my small way. Well, I should get back to work. One day I'm going to read all these books. One day, when I have time.
Тут не читается. Так. С кем? Долбаные каркалки.
I'm sorry.
So am I.
The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this.
We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame.
I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven.
Ну что ж,
You look out for your people. That's a good thing.
Is it? My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter.
Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus?
We are better than Corypheus.
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
You're not planning assassinations, are you?
I was planning to unleash Josephine on them. She kills with kindness. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend and there were so many things going wrong.
Sometimes it's best to talk these things out.
I was there when the hero Ferelden defeated the archdemon. We won the day, and I thought the Maker smiled on me. When the Divine requested my help, I went to her. I owed her that much. I sacrificed so much to do the Maker's work. But now, Justinia is dead. I was angry. I felt betrayed. But I shouldn't have let my emotions get the better of me. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You were grieving and upset. I understand.
Thank you. Now enough of this. Let us think more pleasant thoughts.
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
What exactly does the left hand of the Divine do?
A Divine always has enemies, and Justinia had more than most. I protected her. I watched, had an ear to every door. I identified threats, and I dealt with them.
Why did Justinia have so many enemies?
There were many who felt she was unfit to be divine. She had a past, a worldly life. Unlike many, she wasn't given to the Chantry as a child. She chose it, and somehow that made her unworthy. And because they thought she was unworthy, they wished her harm.
So, you were her spy master too.
I handled difficult situations that couldn't be resolved through more delicate means.
I could use the left hand of the Divine at my side out there.
Every agent out in the world is my eyes, my ears, my blade. Wherever my people are, I am also. Coming with you, leaving my post, would blind and bound me. Do you see?
What is the point of an Inquisition?
Justinia would have started the Inquisition if the Divine Conclave failed to restore peace. She hoped that with enough support, we could challenge the very tenets of the Chantry. She wanted the Chantry to treat the mages fairly. But sometimes I wonder, why stop at mages? The Chantry has committed many injustices. If we're going to change it, why not change the whole thing? It's just a thought. None of this will be possible if we fail.
I'll try not to break anything.
That's good to hear.
I'd like to hear about Justinia. What was she like?
A friend. A mentor. Like me, she had secrets, made mistakes. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Was there something more than friendship between you?
You're asking if we were lovers? Typical. I was devoted to her, therefore it must be romantic. Love is common. Love is simple. My bond with Justinia was something greater. She was a sister, a mother, a teacher. So to answer your question, yes, it was more than friendship.
How did you and Justinia meet?
I met her a long time ago, before she became divine. Before she was Justinia. When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea. I was at my lowest. Broken, lost. And she saved me. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved myself. She just showed me it was possible.
We'll talk more later.
At your service, my lord.
Let's talk about you.
Me?
Bards tell tales. I bet you tell some good ones.
There are plenty of tales in the library. Perhaps you should look for them there.
What did you do before you worked for the Divine?
I was a bard, an Orlesian spy for many years. For a time I also served a small cloister in Lothring. After the Blight, the Divine called on me to oversee her personal network.
Can you teach me to be a bard?
Being a bard is so much more than being a spy. It involves a keen understanding of politics, the ebb and flow of influence, the great game. The Bard's is an intricate dance where a smile can be sharper than any dagger. The best way to learn is to immerse yourself in it. Perhaps when this is all over, I'll teach you.
I should leave you to your work.
We can always talk later. I'm listening.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You have a history with the warden who ended the blight, don't you?
I count him among my closest friends. I still write to him for advice when I can. He hasn't replied to my letters in some time. I try not to worry about it. He can take care of himself.
They say you spent some time in Lothering. Did you know the champion?
We spoke a few times. I seldom left the Chantry, and we never became more than casual acquaintances. I saw more of the Hawk twins. Bethany in particular. She would spend time in meditation at the Chantry, and she seemed to like my stories. The other one, the young man, he was a little surly. I did encounter the champion again later in Kirkwall. Those were terrible times.
Was this when the Chantry was destroyed?
No, that happened later. But even then, the news coming out of Kirkwall was disheartening. There were some in Val Rayeau who wanted the Divine to declare an exalted march on Kirkwall. Justina sent me there to see if that could be avoided, to gather evidence to calm those agitating for war. I guess it didn't matter in the end.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am. Inquisitor?
You seem to know a great many...
I have made friends, and on occasion...
You seem to...
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Val Rayeau, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am. Inquisitor?
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
Anything I should know?
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven should Corypheus or his lackeys return. So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. There is something at least.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
Так, да сколько можно? Тут вроде со всеми поговорили.
How can I help?
I'd like to hear more.
I would be happy to share it.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found in the Kokari wilds a humble cottage far removed from any of the simple, chastened tribesmen. The trees and weeds had not reclaimed the home, nor did the chastened dare to come and steal the trinkets still remaining. It was empty, long abandoned, but the world feared that you might return.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I found an ancient spirit who had once been undisputed king of almost every land I had discovered. Like pride or rage, it was the Fade's reflection of a feeling. When I asked which one it was, the spirit faltered. "They've forgotten," said the spirit. There remains no word for what I was.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a young Canary working in a simple kitchen, baking bread as she was ordered every morning. In every loaf she broke the rules. She'd take a pinch of sugar and fold it into the center, like a secret, and this act of small rebellion brought a shining smile across her face.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Так, Act of Rebellion. Так.
There is something I wish to discuss, Inquisitor. My Lord Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me. I have news regarding one of your companions, the Tevinter.
Has Dorian done something wrong?
No, thankfully. It's nothing like that. I have been in contact with his family. House Pavas out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
He's mentioned his family. They don't appear to be on good terms.
Yes. I believe you're correct. The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
Just what kind of meeting do they have in mind?
I believe they just want to talk, to understand why Dorian felt he had to come here. Somewhere private, away from Skyhold, but not in Tevinter. You make them nervous, I think. They don't understand why he's here with the Inquisition. They want him to come home.
I'd be worried too if my son ran off to join some gauche foreigners on a crusade.
So would I. Although I suspect there's more to it than either of us understands.
Why would his family contact you?
Because they don't know you, Inquisitor. I am not of the Imperial Chantry, but they know what I represent. These are parents concerned about the welfare of their son. How could I not do whatever possible?
Шпионы.
Myself, but he does not care for me. Thus I come to you. If any good can come of this, we must try.
Are you sure this isn't some kind of trap? I mean, the secrecy.
That did occur to me. What if it is a plot of those mages, the Venatori? Another reason to put this in your hands, Inquisitor. I pray that isn't the case. But if it is, you are far better equipped than I to respond to such treachery.
They don't want Dorian to know? That seems odd.
They believe the young man would refuse, and the letter implies he'd have cause. Yet, they are remorseful for whatever came before. This is a chance for dialogue. There is deceit in bringing the young man to this meeting without his foreknowledge, I know. But does it not lead to a greater kindness if there is potential for reconciliation?
I'll see what I can do.
Bless you, Inquisitor. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Red Cliff Tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I shall pray for your success and the young man's happiness. That's all we can hope for, is it not?
Okay.
Hello, honored Inquisitor. Gotzi Sturhall. Did my part on the walls. Now I'm on this strange collection you've brought us. Don't know its worth to the fight exactly, but it's good workmanship.
Where did you learn your skills?
Zamar. Carved a few statues in my day. And before you ask, yes, I chose to leave. I carved a paragon who turned out to be a sodding madwoman. Couldn't stand looking at it. The memory of a dwarf, right?
Any ideas about the origin of these reliefs?
Tevinter, early. It's in the tool marks, the grain. That's hard dust mined from the 100 Pillars, if I know anything. Oh, I suppose the scene is probably full of Tevinter robes, too.
The 100 Pillars?
Damnedest things. Massive spires that aren't stone. It's like a mortar. Don't know more than that. Strong, though.
Do you have any insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Here you go, Inquisitor. I wrote up some thoughts. Hope it adds to the effort. Stone met, Inquisitor.
Do you have any insight into the...
Tell you what. You finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Another time.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
And what else did Lady Forsythia say? That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition. Anything else? She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother. That does sound like her. Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention. You always do find the brighter side of things. We are in the midst of cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Navarra, your worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
Can I do anything to help negotiations?
Thank you, but I believe I have matters in hand. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
Dealing with so many demanding, strong-willed people can't be easy.
It's no less intense than my days at court, Inquisitor, I assure you. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
I have time, if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well, I admit there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss.
В кровати.
Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree. Who does such a thing in front of their guests?
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And Sarah, can she not find a single overshirt with that mustard taint on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits its whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
It went by so quickly, I didn't even notice.
You're far too polite. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
Spending time with such an engaging woman is never unpleasant, Lady Montillier.
Goodness. I'm glad I haven't wasted your day. Well, I've taken up quite enough of your time already. Until next time, your worship.
Камон. Давай уже. Мы должны уже заниматься с тобой любовью на моей супер-пупер кровати.
A pleasure.
You said the Montilliers used to run an entire trading fleet. What happened?
There was a scandal an age ago. The Montilliers were forbidden from trading with Orlais. Our personal fortunes never quite rebounded.
Does anyone in Orlais even remember what that scandal was?
I doubt it, but the injunction persists.
What exactly happened?
An affair with a minor lord. Perhaps. Most other details are lost.
Are you saying your family's livelihood was ruined because of a love affair no one even remembers?
Essentially. Orlesian politics are full of these unhappy little missteps, Inquisitor.
You haven't really gone into detail about how you know Liliana.
We met the last few years of my schooling, but we became friends after I became ambassador to Orlais. It seems terrifyingly long ago now.
How exactly did you and Liliana reconnect in the Inquisition?
I discovered my family had been overcharging a merchant we traded with for months. Our name carries a great deal of trust in Antiva. I spent weeks arranging a string of favors as suitable recompense. Apparently satisfied, the merchant extended me an invitation to her estate. Liliana greeted me in place of the merchant.
I assume there was more to it than a strange way to say hello.
It was a test of sorts. Liliana claimed she needed someone of painful integrity for the Inquisition. I accepted, once she finally explained what it was.
Do you remain close?
Yes, but she's grown so much more distant than the outgoing woman I met in Val Royeaux. Leliana used to wander the Orlesian courts, singing the sweetest songs, charming the greatest wits. Now she collects secrets and takes risks that would make empires tremble. I worry, but she will not hear it.
Does Leliana confide in you?
She enjoys revisiting our more disastrous adventures. Leliana used to concoct the most ridiculous plans. Run if you ever see her with a twine ball, a measuring stick, and a handkerchief.
Who rules Antiva?
Officially, the Principality of Antiva is governed by His Majesty King Fugelno II. In reality, Antiva's merchant princes rule the country in everything but name. Quite loudly, I might add.
What sort of dealings did you have with these merchant families?
As ambassador, I attended Privy Council meetings in a mediatory capacity. May I just say, one has never heard an argument until they've sat in on 15 princes howling down each other's tariff suggestions.
If you must deal with legislation, at least it's lively.
It's all a part of life in Antiva. Our traditions value passion and romance. A certain exuberance of style.
Are you positive you're Antivan?
I can be most exuberant when it's called for. Just at the right moments, and in a proper fashion. Might we speak of something else?
Where were you raised, Josephine?
I was born in Antiva City, but when I turned 15, Mother declared I'd attend finishing school in Val Royeaux. But I bawled into her skirts the day I had to leave.
You must have missed her terribly.
I did. And she was most unsympathetic to my wailing. But my mother only wanted the best for me. Living in Orlais was an education in itself.
What did you learn at this finishing school in Val Royeaux?
Among other things, mathematics, rhetoric, poetry, history, logic, and a great deal of etiquette. I still remember Madame Beventir's switch on my knuckles when I forgot the basic tenets of Nevaran dining customs. For a dowager approaching her 80th year, she had quite the arm.
How did the younger you like Val Royeaux when you arrived?
Have you ever stepped into a new city and felt the buildings couldn't possibly be real? That was Val Royeaux to me. So beautifully foreign, I gaped at its spires for months.
Does Antiva City have nothing that compares to Val Royeaux?
Antiva City is a jewel among the capitals. But I did not appreciate that before I traveled. There are multitudes of places I'd like to see. Saharan, the Anderfels, whatever lies past the Amaranthine Ocean.
What's the land like in Antiva?
The settled areas are quite lush. The vineyards run as far as the eye can see in some places. Antiva City, however, perches right up against the Rialto Bay. That's what I miss most. The sea crashing against the maze of the docks.
I have difficulty seeing you wandering around a trading port.
Everyone in Antiva City spends time by the ships, my lord. The finest restaurants and poets all make their habitation by the sea. The waterfronts never still. Lanterns are lit along the promenade no matter what the weather.
Are you ever homesick?
Occasionally. When a breeze stirs the trees in the garden, I sometimes pretend it's the sound of the surf. Do you know, I even miss those terrible squawking birds infesting the harbor. My youngest sister used to throw whole loaves of bread to the gulls. Silly thing.
Tell me about the Montiliers.
Well, my parents are alive and in good health. They live in our estate in Antiva City. Of my 4 siblings, most attend to the running of the family vineyards. That reminds me, I must ask someone to make sure Yvette attends the spring reception at the palace. My youngest sister has no head for social engagements.
Why are you overseeing your siblings' social lives?
It's Antivan custom. After a certain age, the heir apparent runs the family's estate to prove they're worthy of succession. If you're unfit for the task, the heads of the house, usually one's parents, may decree a new heir.
what do these Antivan heads of the household do if they don't run it?
They work and provide guidance. I've taken advice from my parents. Well, mostly mother. Father's more of an artist. It's rather gauche, but we never can dissuade him from running his own salons. Between him and my siblings, mother's looking forward to my taking over the estate.
Can you run your family's business and be the Inquisition's ambassador?
I won't let it interfere with the quality of my work for the Inquisition, I assure you. But managing the estate is my duty. As much work as it is, I will not shirk it.
Is running your family's estate that important to you?
I'm responsible for their welfare. A Montilier never shuns their familial duty. Taxing as those duties can sometimes be.
Maybe your siblings could help lighten your burden.
You don't know them. But Lorien in charge, or Antoine, or Yvette? No, truly. It must be me.
Let's speak later.
Another time. It's good to see you.
What do the people make of us?
There's scarcely a noble house that hasn't openly
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
None in particular. Our guests are well pleased with what is. Another time.
Can you arrange what we discussed earlier, Ambassador?
I found the money. The Inquisition will compensate the families of those we lost at Haven.
Thank you. To work?
Inquisitor? At your service. Are you all right, Leliana? Are you? I suppose not. Haven was trying. Let's see what we have.
Inquisitor.
Worship.
My friend. Goodbye.
Here we are.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
Naturally. Questions. You know where I'll be. Something you need?
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father. I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter. I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
You think your father would actually do that?
No, although I wouldn't put it past him. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married? Because you left?
That too.
I think you should meet with this retainer. Find out what your family wants.
I didn't ask what you thought, did I? That was unworthy, I apologize. There'd be no harm in hearing what this man of my father's has to say. If I don't like it, however, I want to leave.
Your parents are reaching out to you. Doesn't that mean something?
Only that they're trying to choke me. Don't mind me. Let's see what comes of this. I can't believe my father's gall. Of course, he couldn't come here to Skyhold. No, that would be too much. But contacting some southern cleric on the sly, much wiser. If this is some Venatori connivance, I will be utterly disappointed.
I should go.
As you wish.
Чё, больше нету?
Better and better. What can't we do in a place like this?
What's with scalding? No fun.
What can I get you?
Зачаровать вещь. Как? А тут чего? Ни хрена себе, тут еще целая громадная локация. Не говори. Винишко собираем. Конечно, если на пол упало, съедобно. Хрен ли тут, если только крыс не бегают. И то, как говорится, можно пожарить. Наскорим. Подземелье-то? Ну, может быть. Был бы тут еще вид от первого лица. Было бы прикольно.
Yes.
Так, что я хотел? А, да. Красный лотос собрать. Кровавый лотос 7 штук. Ну, не то, что пошло на пользу, но иногда можно. Так, ресурсы священные. Вьющаяся лоза.
At your service.
Это не то.
We cannot neglect our soldiers' training.
Can we neglect roads? Our allies
блин.
cannot take the same route through the mountains we did.
Да чё не нажимается такие-то?
At your service.
Эльфийский камень. Оникс, эльфийский камень.
Inquisitor.
Кровавый лотос, вот.
Let's see what we have.
Отлично. Теперь можем в сад что-то там сделать. Капец, Скайхолл тут громадный. Я только вот в этом здании целый день хожу. Так я сейчас еще наружу выйду. Там еще полный пиздец еще. Тут говорите еще на 2 дня. Ёбнешься.
Not so standards. That'll guide the dragon right in.
By the time it's across the growing legions, that roaring pincushion will be ripe for swords.
That easy.
Never said it'd be easy, but we win, so it won't come.
So, Inquisitor. It's Inquisitor now, right?
Yep.
Remember that war we talked about stopping? Full of little baddies I can stick with little arrows. That's not a friggin' archdemon, is it? Droste, what did I step in?
I've apparently been through a lot. But yes, Corypheus was a surprise.
No, a surprise would be, oh, I stepped in dog shite. No one says, oh, a Magister God monster, I'm surprised. Impossible things aren't surprises.
The ancient thing trying to kill us seems pretty real.
Don't get me started. Oh, wait, too late, right? A Magister who cracked the Black City. It's a hazy dream, right? I mean, if it's real, then the seat of the Maker? Real thing. A seat needs a butt, so the Maker? Real thing. Fairy stories about the start and end of the world? Real things. It's too far, innit? I just want to plug the Skyhole rubbish so I can go play.
You joined to help the little people caught up in this. But do you believe or not?
In Andraste? Of course.
But you doubt what you're seeing and hearing.
It can't be true. Even fanatics don't want to be this right. Look, I have arrows. I can make this Corypheus believe in those. Good enough? Please be good enough.
As long as you're reliable when we go Magister hunting. Stay for whatever reason you like.
Like don't have nuts to do with it. Not when we're tracking monsters that shouldn't be. What I want is to get everything back to business as usual. A nice simple system with simple problems. Helps me, helps people, helps you. In that order. For now.
Belief may decide what happens. You can't rule it out.
Right, well, shout me up when the gods show. I'll be here, loony. Your wish is something.
Are things playing out the way you expected?
Cassandra laid it out right. You're the big hat now. Gonna make everything the way it should be. Praying's nice, I suppose. Corypheus bit, though. Shite.
Corypheus.
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 Sack Splash. I know his name. Doesn't deserve the respect of me saying it, does he?
So you like to have fun. The Inquisition seems an odd fit. Why are you really here?
What do you mean? To help people.
It's starting to sound like you're looking for something more.
It is. Mostly. Okay, fine. There's talk and I want to see.
See what?
I don't know. I've got all this chantry stuff in my head, and it makes sense, right? But it's fuzzy. I want to see if it's all really real. I just don't know if I want to really know. So I'm selfish. It's all for me. Count yourself lucky, I guess.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
Бля, а тут-то чё? Еще что ли подземный? Ебать, тут еще куда-то вообще. А что за херь?
With allies come enemies. Now we have a place to hold them.
Your worship, the cells are ready for the enemies of the Inquisition. Good facilities in Skyhold. Whoever built this knew how to keep prisoners safe but secure. No one to watch over, your worship. We either have many friends, or you've made short work of enemies.
Конструктивная оценка тюрьмы. Окей. Что это дает? На Вольфенштейн сейчас похоже.
Maker, you're a mess. Let me have a look at you. Are you all right, my dear? Were you hurt? You look dreadful.
I'll be fine, don't worry.
You bear it well. Good. The troops will take their cue from your composure. Now, let's keep up appearances. You've handled this crisis competently, saving as many lives as you did. But the enemy struck a serious blow against you and the Inquisition. We must recognize that. You must.
For every person I saved, 2 more were cut down. I failed them.
You haven't failed them, my dear. The men and women who fight for you gave their lives for a great cause, and they fought to the end. The rest still fight, and you will fail them if you give up now. Our enemy advances, Inquisitor. We must not sit idly by. Act first, and teach them to fear us. I think you know what needs to be done, my dear.
My dear.
So, this is Skyhold.
Yep.
Come, let's walk the ramparts. I want to examine our fortifications. We'll be able to see Corypheus coming from miles away.
Corypheus thinks we're beaten. By the time he finds us, we'll be legion.
I know soldiers. I know our soldiers. Corypheus made 100 enemies when he kicked down our door. Let him come. I swear I'll take the twisted bastard down, even if I have to die to do it.
I'm grateful for your support.
It's my job, isn't it? Killing Darkspawn. Look, in spite of it all, there is hope. The people flock to your banner. They believe in you. Tell me honestly, are you what they say you are? Andraste's chosen?
Не знаю.
There's so little I remember. What if they're right?
Does it even matter? Don't you see what you are to them? Without you, they'd be consumed by despair. We all would. They need you to be Andraste's messenger. It gives them hope. The truth doesn't matter. Listen to me talk. Your time is valuable and I've wasted enough of it.
Ну, блин, спасибо. Завел меня куда-то на башню. А я боюсь высоты. Нихера ты. Чего у тебя такая маска разноцветная? Кунари клоун. Капец тут. Красивая, конечно, скала. Прям кайфно нарисовали. Настоящие. Может, починишь тут? Ты же умеешь чинить. Магией там поднял. Поднял, все дела. Ого! 21 тысяча. Тут такие цены сумасшедшие. Ебать.
Mounts have never had better.
Inquisition?
Are your wife and daughter doing well?
Elena's minding the farms. Sienna's still running her full races. Wouldn't be fair to drag them up here. I miss them. But someone has to save the world.
How are your charges? Well supplied?
Surprisingly well. Not many could feed these people, let alone their mounts. Makes me wonder what you're capable of.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
This is just... It's something to keep their hands busy. I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
I'm pleased that you feel that way.
Makes me sound like a Chantry sister, doesn't it? Some giddy new initiate. But so be it. I suppose you've earned my loyalty and girlish enthusiasm. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
There's wisdom in that.
It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I even thanked him.
What is this Grand Tourney?
You've never heard of it? The Grand Tourney of the Free Marches. It's a spectacle. Song, dance, wine, every amusement you can imagine. But the greatest part is the contest of arms. Prove yourself in the Grand Tourney, and you can make your fortune.
How did he help you?
There were 100 men on the field, each one fighting for himself. The knight and I had forged an alliance. It was just the two of us, and we took all comers. The goal, down as many opponents as possible. He always let me deliver the final blow.
It was generous of him.
He said I stood to gain everything, while he'd lose nothing. When it was over, he offered to mentor me, to teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
Different doesn't always mean better.
In this case, I think it would have been better. But I'm older, hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to walk with. Something on your mind?
How much do you know about Corypheus?
Not much. I always thought the stories of magisters corrupting the Golden City were just that, stories. I didn't expect them to be true, and I certainly didn't expect to find one of them still alive.
Don't the Grey Wardens know everything about Darkspawn?
You don't have to know how a Darkspawn came to be in order to kill it. We're soldiers, not historians. And the world would be better off if people focused on defeating evil rather than explaining how it came to be.
Corypheus stopped being human a long time ago. Darkspawn don't have human lifespans, do they?
No, I suppose they don't. They're unnatural and sustained by evil. It's been thousands of years. You'd think the Wardens would have managed to kill the first Darkspawn by now.
Do you know if there are more Darkspawn like Corypheus?
I don't know. I'm not sure any Warden knows.
Let's discuss something else. What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
What do you think of my advisors?
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Sarah doesn't know who she is or what she wants, and doesn't even care.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge. Yes?
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
How do the Wardens deal with archdemons?
Short answer. Stick it with swords until it stops moving.
Wardens are in all the stories. If it was that easy, anyone could do it.
No, it really is that simple. Just because the archdemon is magic doesn't mean it can't be killed with swords. It just has to be a Grey Warden sword. Look, it's not the killing blow that's the problem. It's getting the dragon to the point where it's vulnerable, where it actually can be killed. There's no short answer for that, I'm afraid.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me.
Hmm.
was an archdemon, they say.
It wasn't.
Deceased, maybe.
You didn't see it. It had colored fire.
My father saw the last archdemon. You don't know anything.
Lord Inquisitor, Bonnie Sims at your service. I trust good secret was not too coarse. Now that you've come to some good fortune, you deserve an upgrade. As master of the tradesman, I stand ready to supply your every need.
How are you doing? Good business?
Building, always building, thanks to you.
Who or what are the tradesmen?
A following of sympathetic and profit-minded individuals who promote local craftsmen and fair importers. A guild of sorts. Although that implies counter-affiliations we are not interested in crossing. Our purpose in the Inquisition is legitimate and honorable. You will have what you need at honest prices.
Sigrid survived Haven. Where is he?
About? Doing good work for you and yours? But this position is now more desirable. It was time arrangements were made. I shall make every effort to prove that this is an upgrade.
What do you bring to the Inquisition?
What you need, and more. It takes great coordination to make a remote location seem central. While there is no doubt the boutiques of Valroyo display the grandest of the grand, they do not travel. At least, not yet.
Why are you a mere merchant if you are the master of this group?
I wish to avoid the suggestion that I am a posturing commander atop a structure of malcontents. It is better to remain active, hands-on. Do you not agree, Inquisitor?
We'll speak another time.
Certainly, Lord Inquisitor.
Маглов. Урон, 6 атака, 12 бонус. 15 урон, 6 атака, 12. Чё это за херня? Плечи Бьянки, главное, 2 называются, но при этом они разные. 15, 6, 12. Тут 16. Что за херня? Как эти плечи вообще там настраивать? Я хер его знает. О. Короче, надо читерить на деньги, это капец. Тут невозможно деньги набрать. Такие цены сумасшедшие, 20 тысяч. Я эти возьму столько.
Inquisitor, you have come to the attention of the powerful, and I am the response. Monsieur Faris at your service. You will find my wares unique. I sell influence. Yes, Inquisitor. How will you choose?
Ху-ху. Ни хрена себе. 6800, 6. Интересно. Так, судя по открытой двери я тут был.
How was a place like this ever lost?
Hold and declare, Inquisitor.
What do you mean?
I ask your intent. I was summoned to oversee training, and I would know my charge. I am your commander in this matter, Commander Helene.
Thank you for coming, Commander Helene.
Commander will suffice, recruit. I teach the skills of the Knight Enchanter. It is a rank. It is a life. Understanding its hierarchy is the first step. You already know this. You were not made Inquisitor and then taught to lead. I will teach you how to rise to your place, how to join your warriors, spectral blade in hand, how to command the ranks while standing beside them. Are you ready?
Who granted your rank? What forces have you served with?
I cannot say.
Then how do I know you're capable?
You know because I have told you, and I will teach you the same authority.
Commander is a title I associate with human forces.
Knight Enchanter has roots in Elven tradition, but it has utility in every tradition. There are no borders for the mage who wields a spectral blade. There is respect, and there is fear.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
I cannot. Only you know if you are fit to lead with more than maps. Do you have the mettle to raise a blade in grand melee? To have your presence make heroes of your charges? This is a path for leaders. You tell me if you are worthy.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then we will begin the simple steps, recruit. And we shall see what heights you reach. You have a task, a simple construction. Go, learn, and return. Soon you will lead from the front. Soon you will command.
Hello? Yes, hello. I am your trainer.
Yes?
I am your trainer.
You said that.
Good, because it has been a long journey. The cause is just, and if we don't start soon, you won't have time to learn. I am your trainer.
You seem a little scattered.
It's nothing. I'm just a little fatigued. It's nothing. Thank you. I was charged with studying the breach and the subsequent rifts to discover how they affected traditional disciplines. I was enthralled. So were the 19 others, I presume. They're dead. They learnt the power, but couldn't wield it. Rift Mage Inquisitor. The forces are incredible. And with training, you will be incredible. I know how not to die, and I can teach it. It's incredible.
You didn't mention your name.
I am your trainer.
That isn't a name.
It is what I am. I try very hard to remember that much. There is so much else to keep in mind. Understand, Inquisitor, that I have learnt it all very quickly, so you do not have to.
The rifts were triggered by the breach. There's already a school of magic.
A school? No. Yes. Sort of. The holes in the veil flooded us with magic, and that can be used. It changed some rules, modified them, enough that the careless inverted themselves, old forces in new forms. Others will try, their results will vary, but you will have the best instruction. Because your trainer has already taken the risk. The price has been paid.
Who charged you with studying magic from the rifts?
The Mages Collective. I did not just say that. Yes, I did say it, and we're proud to help. We are nimble, we could move quickly and commit people to this rift magic. Many people. Their lives made it stable and safe. We're very proud.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
You are the Inquisitor.
And?
You deserve power that casts your enemies aside with the abandon of a creative force. Crushes them with your very will. That is the promise. Who better than you?
You are the Inquisitor.
Very well. Show me how this should go.
It goes places you have been, and some you have not. That is necessary, so the price is not paid twice. Follow the instruction, and you will know the way. You'll understand the power. Then, I'll show you more. After all, I am your trainer.
Ебанутый.
Inquisitor, I heard a tapping. My skills are required.
And you are?
Speaker Vios Anaxas. I have come from Navarra as a voice for the dead. Welcome them, and they will serve your
магия
cause.
крови.
The Inquisition is open to any allies.
Warmth I do not often find. Thank you. I am of the Mortalitasi. We tend to those who have passed and revere their lives by honoring them in death. And when the living are threatened, we give the bodies of the dead physical purpose once more. Necromancy, Inquisitor. The dead will serve for you.
What is a Mortalitasi?
We are the caretakers of the grand necropolis of Navarra. For the treasured relative, we usher a spirit of the Fade into the void of their mortal form. It honors them both. But when enemies threaten the living, we turn death into a weapon of war, instead of merely the result.
You're saying you can bring the dead back to life?
Of course not. The souls of our departed cross the Fade to be with the Maker. The body is left empty.
Then, what is it that you do?
In the Grand Necropolis, we would usher in a displaced spirit of the Fade, eliminating imbalance. But this is war. Every battlefield has one thing in abundance: death. I turn the bodies of enemies into weapons against them. We do not manipulate the living. We make use of the dead.
You're a mage who manipulates life. How is this not blood magic?
Blood magic consumes life. It tears at the living to manipulate and destroy. It is a cancer among our kind. We honor life by venerating the dead. We give their mortal form purpose. In combat, perhaps only for a few moments, but that is still more than they had. More than opposing you normally allows.
Tell me why this would best suit me.
It is not for everyone, yet we all reach beyond life. You have already killed many out of necessity. To stop at death is wasteful. Death can make allies of enemies. Death can rend the battlefield. Death can terrify.
People will fear me.
Don't you want to terrify? Fear means there are fewer to fight next time. Fear means lives are saved, if that is your concern.
I'm ready to learn what you know.
Then your journey begins as others end. The steps are small, but vital. There is instruction and veneration. Then you'll return. We shall see what this life holds for you.
Inquisitor, is there something I can do for you? I should really focus my attention on the injured.
Do we have many injured men?
Fewer by the day. The most grievously injured did not survive the journey to Skyhold. As for the rest, they either heal or... I try to make the passing painless.
I haven't seen you before.
The commander brought me up from the refugee camps. I'd been helping the pilgrims in simple ways, setting broken bones, simple amputations and such. We need all the help we can get.
You aren't a mage. Shouldn't we let the mage healers deal with this?
Magic can't cure everything, and we shouldn't rely on it. Science, your worship, is the way of the future. Good health isn't magic, it's diet, exercise, and a balance of the humors.
As you were.
Your worship.
I am your trainer. I am your trainer. I am your trainer.
Sent?
Yes, Commander.
Send men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir.
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good.
I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now! We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
We were all shaken by what happened.
If Corypheus strikes again, we may not be able to withdraw. And I wouldn't want to. We must be ready. Work on Skyhold is underway. Guard rotations established. We should have everything on course within the week. We will not run from here, Inquisitor.
How many were lost?
Most of our people made it to Skyhold. It could have been worse. Morale was low, but it's improved greatly since you accepted the role of Inquisitor.
Everyone has so much faith in my leadership. I hope I'm ready.
You won't have to carry the Inquisition alone, although it must feel like it. We needed a leader. You have proven yourself.
You responded quickly to the attack on Haven. Without that, so many more would have died. I'm grateful for any help you can give.
Thank you, Inquisitor. I will do everything I can to ensure the security of our people. You have my word. At your service.
Is there anything I should know?
Repairs to Skyhold's fortifications are progressing. Our scouts report no immediate threats in the surrounding area. We are fortunate Solus knew of this place.
Is there anything I should know?
I'd gotten used to mages disliking me on principle. Vivienne's views on Templars are surprisingly traditional.
Is there anything I should know?
Sarah brought me a piece of cake. She thought I looked hungry.
Why are you telling me this?
Because it was either an act of kindness or a trap. I was hoping you knew which.
Is there anything I should know?
I believe Dagna has settled in well. She's certainly very cheerful.
Is that a bad thing?
I'm concerned she'll cheerfully blow up Skyhold with one of her experiments. The risk is small at present.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present.
I should get to know you better. We're working together after all.
What would you like to know?
All right, where are you from?
I grew up in Ferelden, near Honleith. I was transferred to Kirkwall shortly after the Blight. Traveling to Haven was the first I'd returned in almost 10 years.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and a Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order, but Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
You were away from Ferelden for 10 years. Was it strange being back there again?
Strange? No. If anything, the opposite. I was not sorry to leave Ferelden when I did. I had no desire to return. But leaving Haven was more difficult than I would have imagined. Not just because Corypheus forced it upon us. It felt like I was abandoning my home. I never thought I'd feel that way again.
I'll let you return to your work.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend. Did you need something?
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our soldiers are well disciplined and committed to the cause. Templars and mages are not used to seeing each other as allies, but they are working together well enough thus far.
Так.
Sir Lordy Bloomers.
How do you know they won't attack here?
Darkspawn don't think.
Something like that.
They burst through stone, cut with their bloody hands, and they never
Scout Harding,
Your worship.
what's been going on?
Seeker Cassandra came through here, looking like a storm cloud. That's just her face, though, isn't it?
Shouldn't you be out there scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
So who's Scout Harding really?
Me? Oh, I'm no one. Lived near Redcliffe all my life. Herded sheep for my neighbor. When the Inquisition came through my village, I helped by telling them everything I knew about the area. Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by that thing out there.
What's been going on?
Ambassador Montelier sent me a basket of flowers to thank me for my work with the Inquisition. She's so lovely.
What's been going on?
Varric came by to talk. He told me a story about copper marigolds.
What's been going on?
Madame de Fer said hello to me. Or maybe she was waving at someone else and I just thought she was. Yeah, that's probably what happened.
What's been going on?
Dorian's awfully pretty, isn't he?
What's been going on?
Just relaxing, taking a breath. You need to sometimes to keep sane.
What's been going on?
Not much, usual. Nice of you to ask.
Take care.
Inquisitor.
And you are?
The bartender, Cabot.
Just the bartender?
You were expecting...
Well, welcome to the Inquisition.
Thank you. Welcome to the tavern.
What's the current mood?
Sprightly.
Where did you study? I assume you trained.
In bartending? I'm no alchemist. You mix the bottles that don't taste like nug and you pretend to listen. I suppose I trained at home during feast day family visits. My specialty is ale. Old Antivan recipe. The secret is ale.
You're a bit of a hard ass. Why are you here?
And if I could fight, I'd be in a helmet. If I was a mage, I'd throw fire. And probably be dead. But I can't do anything. Just like the hundreds of people who can't do anything. Who make sure the thousands who can do something can do it. Besides, if you know a safer place than your castle, do share.
What's the word out there?
The admirals of the Felicissima Armada are disappointed the Inquisition is primarily inland.
As you were.
Inquisitor.
It's just what I heard.
Good to see you.
No, they don't.
Inquisitor. That's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, Your Worship. You need anything, let me know.
Iron Bull said the chargers were at my disposal. Do you have any suggestions on how to use them?
I suspect Haven's quiet by now. Might be worth sending the boys back. We could recover some supplies, get an idea about the enemy's strength. We could even pick up any stragglers who haven't found Skyhold yet.
Can we talk about the Bull's Chargers?
Best company you'll find from here to the Enderfells. In my time with the Chief, we've gone up against everything from bandits to magic trees. We're expensive, but you'll never doubt we're worth it. Want to know anything in particular?
Do the Chargers specialize in anything from a tactical standpoint?
Bull doesn't want us large enough to work as an army. We're better as shock troops, as skirmishers. We've got archers for hitting enemy infantry, Dalish with more archery, and Skinner and her people on the flanks. Rocky handles fortifications and traps, and Stitches keeps us all fighting. They mostly hold back. I'll lead the frontline fighters with Grim, and the Chief goes wherever he can hit something.
Are there rules for how mercenaries operate?
If you don't want some noble to treat you like bandits, yes. There's also a code of conduct most companies hold to. Keeps things civilized on the battlefield. We accept surrenders for ransom from mercenaries, nobles, and soldiers wearing a lord's colors. Our prisoners are treated well, injuries tended. We'd want the same for any of ours who got captured.
You said something about everything from bandits to magic trees. I'll admit to some curiosity.
Right. Sylvans. That's what Dalish called them. Apparently spirits can possess trees, too. Some noble in the Dales, and they really don't like it when you call them Dalish nobles, had a haunted forest. His family had abandoned the land, but he wanted it back. The Chief bought us all axes, and in we went. Between the axes and the torches, the Sylvans weren't too bad. Worst part was the squirrels.
We'll talk later.
You've heard? I hope I can help somehow. Maybe cleaning?
Oh, Inquisitor, I joined. Sutherland, your worship. I saw some bandits, so I came to warn people. I'll let your warriors know and then stay out of the way. I hope I can help somehow. Maybe cleaning.
Could be better.
I suppose you're right.
Что интересно? Хочешь сказать, ты смотрел?
Inquisitor, meet Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall.
Though I don't use that title much anymore.
Из второй части.
Hawk, the Inquisitor. I figured you
Герой.
might have some friendly advice about Corypheus. You and I did fight him after all.
This view reminds me of my home in Kirkwall. I had a balcony that overlooked the whole city. I loved it at first. But after a while, all I could see were the people out there depending on me.
You're lucky it was just a single city. I've got half of Thetis.
You're doing everything you can to protect them.
Does it ever get any easier?
I'll let you know. I don't envy you, Inquisitor. But I may be able to help you.
Varric said that you fought Corypheus before.
Fought and killed. The Grey Wardens were holding him. and he somehow used his connection to the Darkspawn to influence them.
Corypheus got into their heads, messed with their minds, turned them against each other.
If the Wardens have disappeared, they could have fallen under his control again.
If that's what happened to the Wardens, do you think we can free them?
It's possible. But we need to know more first. I've got a friend in the Wardens. He was investigating something unrelated for me. His name is Loghain. The last time we spoke, he was worried about corruption in the Warden ranks. Since then, nothing.
Corypheus would certainly qualify as corruption in the ranks. Did your friend disappear with them?
No. He told me he'd be hiding in an old smuggler's cave near Crestwood.
If you didn't know about Corypheus, what were you doing with the Wardens?
The Templars in Kirkwall were using a strange form of lyrium. It was red. I'd hoped the Wardens could tell me more about it.
Corypheus had Templars with him at Haven. They looked like they'd been exposed to the lyrium you describe.
Hopefully my friend in the Wardens will know more.
I appreciate the help.
I'm doing this as much for myself as for you. Corypheus is my responsibility. I thought I'd killed him before. This time, I'll make sure of it. Inquisitor.
We'll talk later.
I'll meet you at Crestwood.
Ладно. Надо ложиться нахрен. Тут еще болтовни на день. Не меньше, чтобы дальше продвинуться. Капец, вот поэтому я не могу долго играть в эти игры. Это пиздец как растянуто. Пиздецки как растянуто. Я понимаю, что это все РПГ, тыры-пыры, но етить твою мать, как это долго. Так. Так, что я хотел? Я хотел немножко себе напоминалку сделать. Месячную. Сегодня суббота. Да какая мне разница-то? $210. Я бы вообще сегодня на работу пошел, но у нас просто все замело. Ну просто. Невозможно ходить. Так, завершить сбор. Сегодня февраль. Напоминалку. Сейчас покажу. Что-то она у меня не работает через жопу. Вот опять не работает. Почему? Вчера в день рождения у тебя был? Поздравляю. С этим заебательным праздником. ОБС не работает. Ну что-то типа. Ты писал вчера, первый раз слышу. Я бы тебе сказал, наверное. Так. Может быть... Вот это заработает. Эй, твою мать! Да какие печеньки, блядь? Я же написал по-другому совсем. Нахер ты? Не сохраняет ничего. Не надо знать, сколько я за месяц зарабатываю. Надо зарабатывать 30 в месяц минимум. А то не будет не хватать ни на что. Сохранить. Вот. Да какие розыгрыши, Тима, блядь? Нет у меня денег. У меня 5000 каждый месяц. То есть смотри. То есть денег вообще нет, считай. То есть все, что там получаем, это идет на еду и на оплату. Так что все остальное я должен сейчас зарплату получать. И это включает 5000 с чем-то. Это на отчима. Ему каждый месяц надо платить 5000 на гребаную там эту... Короче, продление его в России. Чтоб он был. Ты понял, да? Короче, оформление там как хуевление. Плюс, считай, ну 10 точно надо на всякие лекарства и всякую дребедень вот эту. То есть 15 тысяч я должен готовить. Желательно 5-10 тысяч тоже, как говорится, готовить бы, потратить, например, там всякую дребедень. Откладывать и так далее. Розыгрыши, это уже все это в прошлом. Какие, блядь, розыгрыши, нахуй? Кто меня смотрит? Пошли все нахуй. Розыгрыши, чего устраивать? Кому, блядь? Ты один сидишь и все. Больше никого нет. Какие розыгрыши? Кроме тебя некому. Короче. Так что кончилась халява. Кончились. Блять. Ты ебанутый, что ли? Почему ты так закрываешься-то? Вот буду писать, сколько я заработал. Сейчас. 13-е.
Заяц! Ты меня слышишь?
Будет это отображаться? Нихуя.
Слышу, слышу. Заяц! Погоди!
А как он отображается? Тип. Донейт. Почему, блядь, 13? Ебанутый. Начать... А, это с 2019 года, блядь. Ёбнутый тоже. Донатов уже нету. С первого. А, сегодня 21 год, алё. Пиздец, мне вообще не донатили за год прошлый. Так что... Вот, с 1 февраля. 3800 за февраль пока заработано. Так. Да, я обязан, Тима, обязан. А кто кроме меня? Все больные стали. И мама, и отчим, и... А кто кроме меня, скажи? Он беспомощный, блядь. Он 13 лет не работал. С 2000, блядь, какого года-то? 8-го. Ни разу не работал, блядь. Поэтому никто, кроме меня, сейчас не будет оттянуть. И что дальше будет, я не знаю. Как-то так. Надо еще это сделать. Километраж. Сколько? Сколько прошел месяц? Ты донат настроил на карту банковскую? В смысле? Тебе надо поменять стиль ображения, блять. Ну я как бы на работу устроился. Что еще могу сделать? Все. Я уже поменял. Классно. 81 тысяча шагов. Это сколько в километрах? Я хуй знает. Можно как-то посмотреть за месяц? У меня тут 97 тысяч шагов. А в километрах можно как-то это, не? Ого. 97 тысяч шагов. Не пишет. Сколько это в километрах? Ну, наверное, 80. При этом каждый день он пишет, сколько километров, но в день может показывать только... Ну, допустим, буду писать в шагах, короче. километрах это примерно, ну, примерно 10 тысяч шагов. Это где-то... ну, вот сколько, например, я 11 прошел. 14 тысяч шагов. Блять, опять не пишет нихуя. То они пишут, то не пишут. Не пойму. Вот вчера 20 тысяч шагов. Это сколько? 15 километров. Ну, то есть где-то 8-7 километров это 10 тысяч шагов. Такие дела. Полностью поменять не получится. Но что-то надо менять в жизни, да. Полностью это тяжело. В таком возрасте что-то менять. Потихоньку меняемся. Все, ладно. Пойду ложиться спать. Завтра опять ничего не делать. Удачи.